This week on Previews World Weekly, we discuss Bloodshot, Jonathan Hickman's Decorum, and unpack the sentience of Kool-Aid Man. Plaster up your walls because we're breaking through. This week on Previews World Weekly.
What's up, Previews World? It's Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day, which means it's time for Previews World Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood of Free Comic Book Day, and I want to remind you guys that on this Friday, the 13th, beautiful, right?
Yep.
The official Free Comic Book Day store locator is launching, so you'll be able to plug in your zip code and find an official participating store near you.
Cool.
So we're ramping up.
Ramping up, getting down to it.
Right?
Getting down to free stuff, though, which is always nice,
I
think. Ashton, I have a question for you.
I have an answer for you, Troy.
Are you sure about this?
We'll see.
I appreciate the enthusiasm. What does hirsute mean? Because I have no idea.
Do you know what? I Googled it.
Well, let me give people context before we delve into this. So there was an X-Men category on Jeopardy, right? And twice in the X-Men category, and hopefully we can get an image up on screen of this, but twice in the X-Men category, they used the word hirsute, which I hope I'm even saying correctly. And I've seen the word before, but the question went, hirsute James McAvoy, not as hirsute Patrick Stewart. And then they would do another one like hirsute Michael Fassbender, not as, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I know the answer to this question, but I have no idea what the word hirsute means. So what did you discover about the word hirsute?
So apparently it is an adjective referring to somebody that is particularly hairy.
What?
Which doesn't seem right in that context.
No, that's not correct at all.
So
it is?
Yes.
Is it?
What?
Okay.
Is that what that means?
But they're talking about Professor X. He's not hairy. He's bald.
Right. Maybe Logan.
Right.
Right. Okay. That's so random. Anyway, the Jeopardy questions went up on X-Men, and all the contestants got them wrong. Every single one of them.
It was so embarrassing, like secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah. Right. I mean, and I'm not normally one of the people that's like, typically when I watch Jeopardy, I typically don't know most of the questions, unless they're entertainment questions.
Right.
But I rarely have that opportunity to be like, oh, come on.
Right.
I definitely had that moment when I was watching this episode.
Like angrily shake your fist at them.
Right. Like, come on, guys. Come on. You guys should be smarter than this.
And the last question that's worth the most money was Jean Grey.
Yeah, it was.
And it said Sophie Turner. I'm like, did everyone forget like the 400 commercials they ran last year?
I guess so. I mean, it goes to show. I think this goes to show that there's categories of nerds, right? And not all nerds are created equal, or not all nerds have the same taste.
Right.
Because clearly, if you're on Jeopardy, you're probably a nerd.
Right.
Right. So that's just my take on it. That was my takeaway from it.
Nerd check people in this show.
Right.
This week on Previews World Weekly, we nerd check everybody.
We nerd check everybody. I mean, I was going for more like a kumbaya, we're all different, like a celebrate thing, but whatever.
Oh, I ruined it. Sorry.
That's okay. Whatever. What is your favorite X-Men movie? Since we're on the topic. I'll tell you mine.
This feels like a topic for, I don't know, like I haven't seen any of the newer ones that since they relaunched it or whatever, Jennifer Lawrence hanging around.
Yeah.
But I saw all the older ones. I don't know that I have a favorite.
Together.
I'm just like, yeah, I saw them. I like Storm.
Yeah. Oof, that's a rough one. Okay.
I think I just like Halle Berry. I'm not sure.
Okay, you're saying all these things that makes my soul hurt.
You don't like Halle Berry?
I like Halle Berry, just not as Storm. Never as Storm.
I think if I rewatched them as like an adult person, I might feel differently.
That's fair. I think X2 holds up the most. That's just me personally. But anyway, since we're on the topic of superheroes and comics, we actually have 2 picks this week, and they're not superhero books. Shocker. So here's what's at comic shops.
Okay, so as always, you can see the full list of new releases hitting comic shops today at previewsworld.com/new releases, but we're going to pick a few of our faves, and as Troy said, shockingly, no superhero comics
No superhero comics this week. I mean, that's a big deal for me, because, come on.
You mean there's no X-Men comic out?
There's no X-Men? Well, there's an X-Men book out, but I've picked it like 17 times, so I wasn't going to do it again. I am going to read X-Men, but so my pick this week is a book called Simon Spector. So one of my favorite writers actually is Warren Ellis. He's one of my favorite comic book writers, one of my favorite novelists. He did a series of one-shots several years ago through Avatar. I want to say maybe almost 20 years ago through Avatar. They were just meant to be like loose ideas for potential new series. They never really got off the ground beyond that. But Simon Spector was one of them. And it just so happens that Avatar is releasing a bunch of purple foil variants that never apparently went shipped out. So yeah, like they just
What?
apparently they were sitting in their stock. They didn't realize it, and now they're sending original printings of these books out. And one of them is Simon Spector. And
Right.
one of the things I love about Warren Ellis is, no matter what story he's telling, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever it is, ultimately it's always a detective story. And ultimately that's what we have here. Simon Spector, he's basically a problem solver, and like the people of the city come to him for various things. In this particular instance, he's solving crime for this grieving mother who's lost her daughter. And Spector basically pops pills to get smarter, but the pills are also kind of slowly killing him. So
Okay.
done in the vein of The Shadow, kind of like
Limitless.
Batman, like Limitless. I think it was before Limitless too, actually, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. So Simon Spector, get a hold of us from Avatar. Warren Ellis, Jason Burrows, really cool. What are you looking forward to this week?
I'm going for Jim Henson's The Storyteller.
Okay.
New #1 from Boom Studios.
Oh, it's a new one. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So a little bit of a background. It's kind of it follows a vengeful ghost spirit of an infant, which is prominent in Scandinavian folklore, called a myling. And there's an explorer kind of adventuring through the woods, and he hears this crying and this screaming. And so he tracks down, he finds these infants that turn out to be this vengeful spirit that ask him to take them across the land so they can receive a proper burial.
Okay.
However, as he's like traversing the land with them, they become heavier. He becomes weighed down, bogged down by their burdens as well as his own, and it kind of becomes a battle of, will he be able to fulfill this? If he doesn't, what does that mean?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Caught my attention. The cover is really cool. It's kind of, you get a look at the explorer as well as him carrying that
Yeah, it's a
spirit.
cool cover, actually. I actually really like that cover. Like, that actually gave me pause, because, like, you know, you're going through the PREVIEWSworld new release page, and you're seeing image, and then, like, that one's like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. So,
Right?
yeah. I also love that Boom's doing these Jim Henson books. Like, I feel like I don't know, I just feel like they should be there. Like, you know,
Makes
they should
sense.
exist,
It's a
right?
good fit, yeah.
Continue those properties on. Big ticket items this week. So there's a Bloodshot movie coming out, and it's hitting theaters on Friday. And it just so happens that Valiant, in their infinite wisdom, decided to do not a new #1, but a new story arc with the new issue of Bloodshot. It's Tim Seeley, who did Hack Slash, Brett Booth, who's known for Teen Titans, a bunch of other stuff. Great artwork, fan favorite writer. And the new story arc is called Long Shot, Part 1.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're planning to see the movie, and if you walk out of the theater and you're like, I want more Bloodshot, you can actually get the most recent issue. So check that out. And now, how about a trailer?
How about that?
Okay. So Decorum from Jonathan Hickman is out this week. Now, of course, Hickman does write X-Men. Shocker, right?
Knew it was going to come back there.
Yeah, I was going to come back to that. But he also has done a lot of really cool independent comics. He did Manhattan Projects, which was a personal favorite. East of West, which I should definitely be reading, but I've not read yet. And so here's this one called Decorum, and it seems like this is fun Hickman. This is more Manhattan Project Hickman from the description.
Okay.
Check this out, Decorum. That was Decorum from Image Comics, available in comic shops today. And now, we're going to show you guys a new segment. Get ready for Asinine Arguments with Ashton. So joining us for Asinine Arguments with Ashton is Anna Mia. Welcome back to the show, actually.
Hey guys.
So, Mia, I don't know if you know this about Ashton, right? But she likes to bring productivity to a halt at the office with these wild theories and endless debates about, what was it, Superman versus Thor. You asked her before if like boyfriends suffer through cuddles. That was another thing.
Apparently that's something you guys are worried about.
Right, which is the answer is yes. And BD of Superman, which we're not going to touch on. But this Asinine Arguments with Ashton, we're actually bringing to the show itself. And this is going to become a regular segment. So what is the asinine argument that you want to make this week?
Okay, so courtesy of Carrie, she asked a very important question last week that I am stuck on. We need to sort it out. So we took to the Free Comic Book Day Facebook page and Twitter to get your input on it. And we asked you, is Kool-Aid Man a sentient liquid or a living pitcher?
Valid question.
And it came off the rails immediately.
Immediately, yeah. Like, we got hundreds of responses for this.
So let's unpack some of these wild answers.
Please.
Morgan Field said, why does nobody seem surprised at the property damage or the enthusiastic insistence on its own cannibalism?
Jesus. That's very fair. Like, he literally is handing Kool-Aid to people, like, drink my people.
Nobody's bothered by it.
Oh, my God. That's a fair point.
David Harris said, he's just the form of the destructor we cumulatively chose in the 70s. Nothing more than the physical manifestation of Gozer the Gozerian.
Oh my God. Should have been a Kool-Aid Man instead of the Stay Puft.
Instead of Stay Puft, yeah. I actually love that, actually. That's a great one.
Jessica Nagy said, it's clearly like a crab, growing a hard organic shell to protect its soft insides. And I don't know about you, but I've never seen a crab use a door either.
That's a fair point. That's a very funny. That's why I love the punchlines on some of these. Yeah.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Some serious comedians on Free Comic Book Day.
And finally, David Carden said he's the true perpetrator of Jonestown.
Oh,
So
dang.
impressive.
I saw that yesterday and I laughed and then I really got it and I just could
You're
not
like,
stop.
Someone was going to make that joke. It's
Yeah.
Kool-Aid. Someone was going to make that.
That's totally fair. That got dark. Mia, can you get darker than that?
I can. So my thought is that he is the pitcher because the Kool-Aid is his essence. And if something happens to him and he dies, his essence spills out and stains the ground like your kitchen counters.
My knife of rubbing of the table.
Wow, okay.
Well, it does stain everything.
It does stain everything. That's right. You can't get the Kool-Aid out. That's true. What about you, Ashton?
I
I told you I was going to go dark and morbid.
weirdo.
The crime scene that is Kool-Aid Man. A fallen Kool-Aid Man. Jesus. Wow. Okay.
I am convinced that it is the liquid. Like, you cannot change my mind because it is the Kool-Aid Man.
You're right.
Like, if there's no Kool-Aid, the liquid, then there's no Kool-Aid Man.
Okay, that's fair. That's very fair.
Could he still be the Kool-Aid Man in a glass?
Yeah,
Like a giant
like,
glass
that's what I'm
walking
saying.
around? Is that still the Kool-Aid Man?
Okay.
Because you can have Kool-Aid in, like, a bowl, like, a trophy, like, anything that's got a hole, like a... That was a bad word choice, but anything that is a receptacle to contain it could hold Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
It could
Kool-Aid,
be a
yeah.
Kool-Aid bowl.
The one I saw, which actually holds to your theory, is that it's an exosuit.
Yes!
Which is actually my favorite of, like, between that and the Gozer one, these two are my favorite. Like, the exosuit, like, so it's technically him, but a housing unit, and then he, like, uses the pitcher to get around. That's just, I have no.
So then what
answer.
happens if you spill him? So then he's just, like if you spill him, he's dead?
Yeah.
Because then he'd be on the ground.
But he like sloshes around on
He
like
does.
commercials and stuff, and it like shoots out of his head, and he seems okay.
He seems okay. Also, I'll point out that like there's one of the responses was like the ice is like his brain matter.
Yeah.
And so if he loses a cube, like he gets stupider, and that's why he goes through. That's why he goes through walls instead of doors.
As he melts, the ice melts, he just gets dumber.
Wasn't there
Right.
someone that was like, "There's no doors on his planet"?
Right, yep, that
That's
was
why he's
another one.
busting
That was
through
another one.
walls.
Sort of like The Sims.
Right. Yeah. I mean, fair enough. Actually, I have a question for you guys.
I'm ready.
What flavor is he?
He's red, so he's got to be like. He was cherry.
Cherry,
Do you know what?
watermelon, raspberry.
He's strawberry, isn't he?
Is he strawberry?
I don't know, but yesterday when we were talking about like food mascots, and I Googled when Kool-Aid Man became a thing,
That's what we do at work. Yeah.
there's something about like it was initially cherry and then it changed to strawberry.
Was cherry the original flavor?
I think.
Okay, all right, that makes
I feel
sense.
like cherry is like always like,
like the
a
go-to.
go-to original
Yeah.
like
Right,
flavor.
Yeah. Okay. What about so another question because Lance asked me this and I thought about this way too hard. Kool-Aid Man versus Punchy, the Hawaiian Punch mascot.
Kool-Aid Man.
Kool-Aid Man.
Dude, Punchy's got like with this little striped shirt.
Right.
And he's like,
Punchy's also,
hey,
like,
Tim.
he's like 2 feet tall too. Like
He's also
Kool-Aid Man is
tall, right,
massive.
right.
Kool-Aid
They're
Man
both
would sit on
aggressive,
him.
which I'm starting to like. That's kind of interesting, right?
Like aggressive marketing.
Right, good,
right?
yeah. Like one smashes
the
through walls,
sugar.
the other one punches people. Like
They're just trying to get their message across.
maybe their messaging's a little faulty. I'm just saying.
Like the side effects to all the sugar.
Right.
Yeah, all the sugar, all the
And it
sugar.
makes you an egomaniac for no reason.
Right.
Apparently.
So, okay, before we close out, right, Mia, can you tell us a little bit about the next episode of the panel?
Ooh, I'm really excited. So with the panel, the comic book reading club that we have, we've been trying to hit, one major kind of comic company, kind of a smaller comic company, and then we did manga. And so we picked My Hero Academia, which is amazing, and everyone's been talking about it. And so Really fun comic to read, manga to read. Really cool to get like a different style of comic reading, like from right to left.
Yeah.
So check out that, and I'm excited for people to see it. Like, I'm excited for people to get to know other kinds of comics.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. And I mean, that definitely is the mission statement of the panel. So
Yeah.
I did that one too. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it as well. Before we close out one more time, can we do a comic shop shout out?
We absolutely can.
All right.
This week's comic shop shout out is from Joe Davis, and he said, so many great shops in PDX, but one of the best is on the Vancouver side. I keep my box at I Like Comics.
Nice. And we like comics too. So there
Right?
you
Yeah,
go. There
I
you
like
go.
that name.
There, straightforward
Yeah.
marketing. See, not aggressive, not punching people in the face and bursting through the walls.
Well, you don't like, I love comics!
Right, yeah. Exclamation point, exclamation point.
It could work, though.
It could work. I mean, you know, something can be said about a declaration, let's be honest. That's fair enough.
Get your attention.
It gets your attention. It gets your attention. So, Ashton, how do you shout out your comic shop?
I'm glad you asked. Find us on social media and tag your shop, and also use the hashtag #SupportYourLCS, and we'll pick any of those posts and we could feature you on our show.
Cool.
Oh, awesome.
All right. And Mia, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And-
It's fun.
And of course, you can catch Mia on the panel. You can also catch her on Mangapedia and Gems of the Month every month on our YouTube channel. And that's it for Previews World Weekly. I am Troy Jeffrey Allen,
I'm Ashton Greenwood,
And I'm Mia.
and we will see you guys at the Spinner Rack.
where Kool-Aid Man is liquid.
Thanks for watching Previews World Weekly. If you like the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes.